Hey everyone, welcome back. So today I am going to be showing you guys how I ombre over dark colors. So I'm just going in with my prep as usual. I like to cut down the nails very low so that they get a longer time from their set because no one wants to see those nails growing underneath. Now I'm going in with the 200 grit file because it is one of the best to use on the natural nails because it's very soft. So this just helps me to round their nails and smooth away all the rough edges. Now I'm going in with my usual prep, whereas I push back the cuticles, I use my little needle bit to get underneath, and then I nip away any excess dead skin. Then after that, I'm going to go in with the sanding band to remove the shine from the nail. I applied my tips off camera because I didn't want this video to be too long because I wanted to focus more on the ombre and blending it into the dark colors. So yeah guys, I didn't include that, but let me know if you would prefer me to include it next time. But yeah, I really want to focus on the blending part. And when I'm shaping, I always make sure to lay the file directly against the side of the nail. You don't want to curve it outward. You want to make sure it's parallel to the nail. And you want to file up and down, up and down. And you want to try to repeat the same amount of file strokes that you did on one side on the next side. I know a lot of people opt not to blend the tip into the natural nail, but I think this is a good step because it makes your foundation smoother and you won't have that lump between the tip and the natural nail. But you know, it's your preference. Now, after priming, let's get into the meat and potatoes, okay? So guys, I'm going in with my pigment color. And I'm going to try to ensure that the bead is wet, because you don't want to end up having a big lump where the tip and the nail meet. You want it to be actually as thin and spreaded or blended as possible, because if you just leave a big dark lump, when you try to blend the pink over the brown, it won't work because it's going to be too hard to cover up that chunk of acrylic in the middle. And you're going to apply your brown or whatever color you choose to use thin, because just remember, you're putting pink over this and then you're going to be putting clear over it. I remember in the beginning when I started doing ombre nails, I would always do the nail too thick because the color that I was putting underneath the pink, which is white or, you know, glitter or whatever you do, I was doing it too thick, and then I'm blending. And then to cover up that thick color underneath, I would have to put more pink. And then in putting more pink, I still have to put the clear. So it just was a whole thick mess. And then I learned later on, listen, I can just apply it very thin. Make sure there's no like holes where you can see through to the tip. And once that's done, that's all you need to worry about. Alright, so let's get into this blending of the nude. So I'm going in with Not Polish, Nude Panther, one of my favorite nudes, hands down. I am working with a watery bead. I prefer to do it this way, and I think if you're new, this is the best way to blend ombre. Because let me tell you, if you take too much of the liquid out of the bead, it's going to be very hard to blend it into the other color, because you know you don't have anything to work with. It's dry already. So if you leave the bead a little more wet, not as wet as my first bead, more like the second bead that I just did, it will blend seamlessly into the color that you're using. And you have to also make sure that the nude you're using blends and covers the color underneath. Let me break that down for you guys. So what you can do is use a fake tip. You're gonna put the dark color first, and then you're gonna use you're gonna test out. I usually test about 2 to 3 pinks. So I put the 3 pinks on the table and I say, okay, I'm gonna put the brown on 3 different tips. Now, I think my client likes this color, so let me show her how this color is going to look on the tip prior to us even starting the service, because you're wasting time, and if the client ends up not liking it, then you got a whole mess going on. So what I do, I just blend each pink over that brown and then let my client choose which one she likes. Not every pink or nude will blend over every color. Only certain, sorry y'all, my dog is shaking in the back. Only certain nudes can cover that harsh line that's made when you place the color underneath. I hope I broke that down well enough, but some people do one bead to blend, but I just feel like it just depends on if you're doing a ombre with white or an ombre with dark colors. Blending over a dark color is much more difficult. So I would say take it slow and do about 2 to 3 beads, and I think you will get a perfect seamless ombre every time. Now, by doing this, your pink will not go too far down. What I've noticed, when you do like one bead, sometimes the pink can go too far and it doesn't end up matching with the other nails, if that makes sense. So I'm just repeating the same steps on all of the fingers, and I actually left me doing the other hand in so that you guys can just see more of how I'm blending it. Another great tip, guys, you have to use a brush with soft bristles. I wouldn't recommend using like an old acrylic brush. It needs to be a brush that's cleaned frequently, because it won't blend right and it'll kind of like blotch your ombre. Right now I'm using the Kiara Sky brush number 12, and it works very well. As you can see, it has soft bristles. Even as I'm applying the acrylic right now, you can see how the bristles just spread. You need a brush that's evenly spreading, not one that's like clumped up and has old acrylic in it. Trust me, that matters. Now I'm going in with my clear acrylic, and as we said before, you did not make that bottom part thick, so we need to go in and now add some strength to the nail, and we're going to do this by adding the clear acrylic. We don't have to really worry about the nude because the apex is already built, but I do sometimes add a little bead just to lock everything in. So I'm going to go and add the clear acrylic on all of the nails. Also, this is for beginners. Don't be afraid to ask your client to move or shift their hand from side to side, whatever you may need, because listen, you can really mess up their nails or the shape or whatever just because you're shy and don't want to say, can you please turn your hand for me? It helps, trust me, because as you saw just now, I had to ask her to shift her hand because the acrylic was falling off. It was going in, instead of going down with gravity, it was going off to the side. So you always want to make sure that you're clear and ask the client to do what you need them to do. Now I'm going in to blend the other hand, and I'm going to be repeating the same steps that I did with the previous hand, working that bead in until I have a nice seamless ombre. So you guys can just watch as I complete this. Alright guys, now I'm going in with my Pana file and I'm going to be reshaping the nails. Because we applied the acrylic neatly, I don't have to do too much shaping. I just want to get that crisp, sharp look. I believe this file is a 100 file. Yes, I believe so. But you can look in my description and I have the exact file that I'm using. So if I said it wrong, my apologies, but the exact file is in my description. Let me tell y'all, when you turn that hand around and you file, listen to me, okay? The perfection. Guys, if you don't turn your hand around to shape, you're missing out, okay? That makes the shape perfect for you and your customer. Like, you know, sometimes the customer can hold their hand out and look at their nails and be like, what the heck? This is what? But no, if you turn the hand around, it's going to be what your client sees. So if it's snatched when you turn it around, it's going to be snatched when they look at it, okay? So make sure you turn that hand around. Now I'm going in with my fine Carbide Bit and I am cleaning up the cuticle area and also the sides. So you guys can watch as I do that. If you wanted to get this same drill bit, you can look in my description box also. I have it listed. Then I like to go in with my buffer to just ensure that the nails are nice and smooth. Alright, and after that, guys, I apply my top coat, and I'm using the Valentino top coat in this video. I really like the way that it works, so if you're looking for a good top coat, this would be a good one. After this, you guys can see the finished look. And once again, thank you for watching my video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.